Hi, welcome to KJ and Tony Move to France. In today's video, we're sharing with you an adventure that was very unexpected and involves hot dogs, of all things.
So we were on our way to Nespresso, buy Nespresso capsules, because we have a Nespresso machine in our apartment, and KJ has a favorite flavor. And so we found where it was, and we were walking towards it, and we came upon a hot dog place. That was
U.S. hot dogs.
U.S. hot dogs, yes, and it was truly a hot dog stand. There was no inside to it. It was just sort of a window on a building where they sold you hot dogs through the window, and it was really good. And if you've seen our Pepe Le Pup video, that was outside U.S. hot dogs.
That was at the hot dog stand that we saw him.
Yes, and that was the beginning of what this video is all about.
Because we were starving when we came across this hot dog stand, and we were just so, I think, amazed that there was this U.S. hot dog stand in the middle of France. So it was just unexpected. So we stopped and decided to get a hot dog, and the hot dog, surprisingly to us, was amazing. So then we thought, well, let's see if there are other hot dog stands in France. And when we Googled it, there are so many hot dog places in France. We were really surprised.
Well, there are hot dog stands by themselves, plenty of those, but it seems like every sandwich store and bagel store also sells hot dogs. So hot dogs are popular here, much more so than we expected.
So we decided to go on this adventure, this quest, to determine if U.S. hot dogs is truly the best hot dog stand in Paris. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Go eat some hot dogs. N-O-O York hot dogs, and we weathered the rain, the not torrential downpour, but it's not nice out right now. So we're going to try the hot dogs here and see how they are. So we hope you enjoyed that little montage.
And now for the review.
All right, we start with U.S. hot dogs, also known as Pat's Hot Dogs, because that was the first place we came upon and was the impetus to this whole adventure that we embarked upon. So where is U.S. Hot Dogs?
U.S. Hot Dogs is at 56 Rue du Roi, and I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, de Sicile in Paris.
And what are the pros and cons, in your opinion, of U.S. hot dogs?
They have sauerkraut, which is a huge pro.
Most of the other places, if not all of the other places we went to, did not have sauerkraut?
That's right.
They did not.
I thought that they were very friendly. They were not standoffish at all, which happens sometimes at places here, especially in dealing with Americans. The hot dog tasted great. It was really good.
Delicious.
It did, though, begin something that I think is a French thing, which is bread tends to dominate everything.
Another plus is the price.
Yeah, they did charge us different prices different times,
Which was interesting.
which was interesting, yes. But it was $8.50 for 2 hot dogs and a drink the first time, and $11.50, and that's euros.
Regardless of the discrepancy, it still was the most economical of all the places we went to, right?
Yeah, and these hot dogs are a meal. They're foot-long hot dogs. Again, even though the bread dominates it, it's a full meal. So to get 2 full meals for, let's say, 11.5 euros is a bargain, a real bargain.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And for me, the pros and cons were the pro being I believed it was like the best hot dog I had ever had. I don't know if I was just hungry at the time, but I truly was like, this is the best hot dog I've ever had. The cons are it's truly a hot dog stand, so you have to walk and eat. There's literally no place to sit down. Some of the other places, if not all of the other places we went to, had some sort of seating, even though it was limited. So that was a con for me. I like to be able to sit down while I'm eating.
But the biggest pro, besides the hot dog itself, was Pepe Le Pop.
Seeing Pepe Le Pop, that was just an added joyful moment to see that.
And if you haven't seen that short, please go to it. And unfortunately, we weren't able to film when he was actually just riding down the street like it was nothing.
Yeah.
On the front of a motorcycle.
It was so awesome.
And then he happened to pull in right next to us.
So moving on, next up is Clark Hot Dogs, and this is one place where I did not go with Tony. Tony went by himself, and this is when we started to think, hey, let's go check out these different hot dog places. And so Tony went and taste tested Clark Hot Dogs all by himself. And Clark is located at?
It is at 6 Rue du Roi de Sicile. And it's obviously right down the street from 56, where we were just discussing, for U.S. hot dog. But Clark Hot Dog was not as good, definitely not as good. It was more expensive, and this was the only place of all the places we went to where actually the person running it really wasn't very friendly at all, and almost showed that he didn't really want to be there. But it was the second one on our list, and describing it, it was boiled, not on a grill. I prefer my hot dogs to be grilled. U.S. hot dog was grilled. This was boiled and really wasn't very hot. I think it was boiled and then just put in a holding pan, and it was okay. That's the best I could describe it. It was okay.
Do you remember what you paid?
I believe I paid $6.50 for the hot dog by itself, and another $3, I should say €3, for a drink. So $9.50 for a hot dog and a drink.
All right, the third place that we went to is called Frank's, and we went to Frank's and another place, the next place we'll talk about, consecutively on the day that we went to the Arc de Triomphe. And I think that it gave us the sustenance, the fuel that we needed to climb those 284 steps. But we did taste test these back to back. So what did you think?
First of all, I'd really like to have the sustenance every day. The address is 18 Rue Saint Antoine in Paris.
Okay, pros and cons.
It was on a roller grill, which was good. The staff was very friendly. I thought the hot dog was great. What do you think?
I didn't like the fact that the bun was overly grilled. And also remember it had that, even though that system where you order sort of like when you go to McDonald's, you do the pre-order on the machine and then they provide you with your order. They didn't have it in English, so we really kind of screwed up the order when we were trying to do it.
Doing that also is difficult when you don't want it exactly the way that they make it normally. For example, I don't like ketchup on a hot dog. Not having ketchup on a hot dog is very difficult if you're doing that, because here, ketchup and mustard are automatic.
And it came with this Brazil sauce, I think it was called, and It was sort of like a sweet and sour sauce, which made it unique and different, but I wasn't too crazy about it. And I didn't like the fact that the bun was, in my opinion, overly like buttered and grilled.
Yeah. But still, it was pretty good. It was not a bad experience at all. The staff made it a good experience. They were very helpful for us to do what we needed to do. We told them we were filming, and they were very helpful.
So we had to move locations because where we were sitting was super windy and very cold. So we're in a new spot here, and I just want to bring up the fact that we didn't mention the price of Frank's. So how much was it?
Frank's, I think, was about $17 for both of us, which seemed expensive. At none of these places did we widely vary the menu. Maybe we got a bag of chips here and there, but that's about it.
And Frank's, just like Clark's, there was seating, so there were places where you could seat in all of them except for U.S. hot dog, right?
Yeah, and actually Frank had nice seating. It was more restaurant-like, even though it was definitely fast food.
Mm-hmm. The next stop was Schwartz's Hot Dogs, located at?
Let's see, 15 Rue des Archives in Paris, and Schwartz seems to be part of a big chain, the biggest chain of all the ones that we looked at.
And Schwartz, in my opinion, really gives U.S. hot dog a run for its money, because my hot dog was phenomenal. I had a jalapeno hot dog and it was amazing. And they even put things on there that I didn't think that I wanted, like those fried onions, and they were amazing.
And by the way, most hot dog places here do put fried onions, and they're not really fried, they're like potato chip versions of fried onions that are crunkled on top, and that seems to be the normal garnish for hot dogs here.
Very popular, very common. Every place we went, they asked if we wanted those fried onions on the top.
And Schwartz's, to me, was very formulaic, very franchise looking. It was very attractive, and
very nice,
but very much marketing oriented. And I thought the hot dogs were good. Still not as good as U.S. hot dogs.
I liked them more than Tony did. The only downside for me, the only con, so to speak, was that they didn't have sauerkraut, and I love sauerkraut on my hot dogs.
To me, a true American, I should say maybe New York hot dog, is mustard and sauerkraut, so it's got to have sauerkraut.
And it was also quite pricey compared to
Yes, I think that was
US
about $17 too.
It was pricey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was really struggling there to decide which one I like better, U.S. hot dog or Schwartz's. But we have one more to talk about. So let's move on to our next hot dog stand. All right, the final hot dog place that we taste tested is called New York Hot Dogs, although it's spelled N-O-O, even though when you go inside it has all things New York, N-E-W.
I think part of that was that we were in an Asian neighborhood, and a lot of the restaurants around it were Asian. So that may have been the reason for the play on the name New. But also, we should say that at least 3 or 4 of these places that we looked at were within blocks of each other. So it seemed like it might be a neighborhoodish type of thing also. So what did you think of New York hot dog?
It's actually my least favorite of all of the hot dog places that we went to, primarily because it came on pretzel bread, and even though I love pretzel bread, I don't love pretzel bread and hot dogs, and it just seemed like the bread was overcooked, and I didn't like the ambiance. It didn't have a very nice ambiance inside. There were only 2 little tables that you could sit at. It just wasn't very attractive in general.
Yeah, and for me it was the perfect example of the bread eating the hot dog. There was much more bread than hot dog, even more than the other places, and I would call it just okay. I would definitely not go out of my way to go there, as opposed to 2 or 3 of the other ones. The address is 46/48 Rue de Gravelliers.
And is it raining now, or is it just coming off the trees?
No, it's raining.
I feel like it's raining now.
It's raining.
Okay, I think we need to move. It's pouring.
It's a sun shower.
It's a sun shower. It'll stop in a minute.
I don't know about that. So my overview of this whole thing is, first of all, where we live, there's no hot dog places nearby. So every single one of them is going out of our way. Nothing wrong with that. But there's only one I would go out of my way for, and that's U.S. Hot Dog. And I would do that frequently. I'd go there once a week, easy, unquestionably. We love to be out and about on Saturdays. I'd love to go there and be in that direction of town, and make sure I go there again this Saturday.
But what you're saying is not totally accurate, because there's a hot dog stand right at the...
That's not a hot dog stand.
Okay.
You are the person that started a fight with me about that being a hot dog stand, because it happens to help. It's a creperie, and it happens to sell hot dogs.
It happens to sell hot dogs.
And I've seen the hot dogs. Those aren't hot dogs.
Which there are a lot of places like that. There are a lot of places that are really primarily selling something else, like a creperie, right?
Or sandwich store. Or
sandwich stores, sandwich shop, even a boulangerie. Is that how you say it?
I think so, yeah.
A boulangerie.
Yeah.
They sell, some of them sell hot dogs too. So you can find hot dogs basically anywhere, and a lot of different places here. But the true hot dog stands are the ones that I think we taste tested, and in my opinion, U.S. Hot Dogs is #1. Even though, like I said, the Schwartz is a close second in my opinion, and I definitely would go back there. Of all of them, Schwartz and U.S. Hot Dog are the only ones that I would return and go back to. And I'm not a big hot dog person. This all started because we were on our way to the Nespresso store, and Tony saw U.S. Hot Dogs and was like, oh my gosh, we have to get a hot dog. So we did, and it led to this adventure. So I hope you've enjoyed this video.
I certainly did.
We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.